One of the most endangered bird species in the world calls Wisconsin home.
But it wasn't always this way. Fox 6 weather expert Eric Mangus is here to explain.
An entire generation of Wisconsinites might not even know what this bird looks like. Well, now you do. And its important role that Wisconsin had in bringing back this 5-foot-tall bird.
There's a sound echoing in the wetlands of Wisconsin that was almost lost forever. Whooping cranes. One of America's first endangered species, nearly went extinct.
Back in the 1940s, there was around 20 in the whole world.
Habitat loss and unregulated hunting caused an exponential decline in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Whooping cranes, originally called Wisconsin home.
Wisconsin has a lot of its historic wetlands that cranes require for breeding. But also, we have these great glacial soils, and so we farm right up to the edge of these wetlands. This is perfect for cranes. They can nest and rear a family in fairly small territories. Agricultural lands, prairies, we can deal with either. It's the wetlands that are key, though.
And with that, a couple of bird scientists knew Wisconsin would play a key role in the bird's survival. George Archibald and Ronald Suey founded the International Crane Foundation, a hidden gem tucked away near the Wisconsin Dells.
Back when George and Ron were deciding to, I guess we could start a foundation to save these cranes, they incorporated themselves in Baraboo, Wisconsin in 1973. And here we are, 50 years later, an international organization.
This nonprofit is dedicated to the survival of all crane species across the globe. And out of all 15 species of crane, whooping cranes are still the most endangered in the world.
In 2001, when we began our reintroduction process, Wisconsin is an incredible spot to release whooping cranes because we have seen so much wetland conservation here.
Slowly but surely, these ghosts of America's wildlife past have spread to more and more habitats across the state.
The future of whooping cranes in Wisconsin is good, and it's an exciting project to be a part of.
But it was a plan that did come with concerns.
Even losing one whooping crane to gunshot mortality or a power line collision or even predation is a major setback for this population.
Saudi introduced a brand new wild population that hasn't existed there in more than 100 years. Slowly. There were many losses at first and lessons learned. Costume-wearing handlers hand-reared young chicks and helped teach young cranes to only associate with their kind. An ultralight program in the early 2000s would prove to be one of the most ambitious reintroduction stories in U.S. history. Motorized gliders helped guide cranes stop by stop in an effort to teach migration. This is where Doug Pellerin comes in.
When I hear them in the marsh, it echoes in the marsh. It's just a beautiful sound. Kind of gets to me right here. I just enjoy it.
He's been involved with the process of raising cranes and helps the foundation track cranes using radio transmitters. From spring to fall, he's watching wild crane development, and to him, this is what it's all about. A wild pair of whooping cranes breeding and thriving in a habitat they would have called home decades ago.
I've seen, must be at least 100 of them over the years, and it never gets old.
So what makes Wisconsin so special for these birds? Well, we just so happen to have the largest cattail freshwater marsh in the entire United States.
Whooping cranes love and need these vast wetlands, which is how we're doing our part right here in southeast Wisconsin.
As this population builds, they will try to find more places in Milwaukee, these lovely little out-of-the-way places that we protect in this state are critical for not just endangered species, but other things that we love to see every day, too.
Several states allow the hunting of sandhill cranes to control the population, and a new push by outside hunting groups wishes to do the same here in Wisconsin, and that could spell trouble for whooping cranes.
Our main concern about the sandhill crane hunt is, of course, now our endangered whooping cranes. Sandhill cranes and whooping cranes, they spend a lot of time together. They look very similar. They have a lot of very shared features.
The ICF says there is a way for people to coexist with both whooping and sandhill cranes.
Being aware. If you are aware that there is an issue, not that something is endangered, or just that there are things in this world that you could know and love, awareness is key to start with.
Because of the work by the International Crane Foundation and countless staff and volunteers, whooping cranes are returning. From less than 2 dozen birds in the 1940s, to now more than 800 in the wild and captivity. One of conservation's most ambitious and now possibly greatest success stories right here in your own backyard.
This spring, whooping cranes were spotted as close as Lake Muskego to Milwaukee. So far in 2023, 4 wild-born chicks have survived, but sadly, the one that was featured in this story passed on July 7th. Now, recovery is slow, and it's a great example that not every bird does survive, and because of this, it makes people even more dedicated to the overall mission. Even with tough losses, we can still make slow gains. So with 1 step back, hopefully we can take 2 steps forward.
This was fascinating. And I know it was a very small part of the story. They taught them how to migrate with drones.
Well, so they're using this ultralight program before drones existed, but it's the same concept. And the work it required between landowners, because they had to coordinate where to land, they went from Wisconsin all the way down to Florida. I could have done a story just on that, but they wouldn't pay me to do a little cruise down to Florida, so I had to do that stuff.
It's amazing. I mean, we were down to 20 birds, and so you say it's been slow, but I mean, we're up to 800 now, and it is possible to put these in Milwaukee County somewhere.
It's very possible, and because we're down to so few, think about a genetic bottleneck, though.
Right.
So few number of individuals that, to prevent inbreeding, they have to track all the lineages of these birds. That's why people like Doug are so important, to track, photograph, and see how they develop and grow, so that we can continue to get as diverse of populations in the state as we can.
Takes dedication, and there's a whole team of people who are dedicated to this, obviously.
My favorite story I've ever done here.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's
Well
just right in our
done.
backyard, and a lot of people, including me, didn't know a whole lot about this. So
Do you
thanks,
know
Eric.
now?
I know a lot more, I'll tell you that much.
And I did my job.
And those birds are huge.
Huge, 5 feet tall, like big time.
Wow. Good stuff, Eric. Thanks.